episodes used to make you rock away.
Rock away.
Those were the days.
You're in tune to the Powerhouse Radio, linking the world to the Caribbean.
Gotta rock away.
Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on the Powerhouse Radio station are those of the host, guests, and callers, are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other hosts or advertisers. The show, found on the Powerhouse Radio station, can promote any lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or other personal practice. These shows are for entertainment purposes only and are not intended to treat, diagnose, and or claim any cure of disease or conditions. Opinions stated by various contributors to the Powerhouse Radio and its programming are not to be considered as endorsed by the Powerhouse Radio station. Visitors are urged to use their own discernment to draw their own conclusion. We emphasize the importance of keeping an open mind.
Welcome to another edition of Reasoning Thursdays, and we are on the spooky edition of Reasoning Thursday. You have Lady D, the Nurse Lady D, and you have the librarian, Mama Acid, the librarian. You have the respecter, which
Spider Black.
who?
Spider Black.
Spider Black.
And Zara. Lord Ranger.
Zero. You have
Spider
Zero
Black.
in the house, and you have Queen of the I3s. Okay, so welcome to Reasoning Thursdays with what we call it, the heroes of the evening. Yay! Give ourselves a hand. Give ourselves a hand. Hello to each and everyone. Welcome. Want to say blessings and massive shouts go out to each and everyone. To the You Choose Radio. I want to say massive shouts go out to you. Blessings to you, DJ VJ Smiles, and blessings to you, Ross Tugel. It's all about the big bashman, DJ Smiles' birthday bash taking place tomorrow, folks. Yes, it is tomorrow night. So make sure that you all are in the house. It's being held at the E. Yeah, that's the venue. It is called the E. It's 2442 South Stone Mountain, Lithonia Road. All right, the letter E. Taking place tomorrow night, 9 p.m. So make sure that you are in the house. All righty. So happy birthday again to you, DJ VJ Smiles. Man, all right. It's thriller night. Uh, all right. Here we goes. We have a whole list of what we're going to be reasoning with you on tonight. All righty. And I think I have a trivia for you, a little ghost trivia. How about that for the Halloween? Donna is laughing at us. Donna says, "Oh no, they did not dress up." Yes, we did, Donna. This is Nurse Lady D. We have the librarian. We have Zaro the Respecter, librarian Mama Acid, Zaro the Respecter, and we have the I3s Queen.
No, I'm the library, not the librarian. I got all the books. See?
She did say she the library.
Okay, this is going to be fantabulous. Oh, God. Donna says that really made me laugh. Okay. All right. All righty, folks. So we have some hot topics. We're going to talk a little bit about the annual 20th summit, G20 summit. We're going to be reasoning a little bit about we're gonna touch that entertainment thing. We're gonna go there with Shorty and vibes and all of those things. Yeah, we're gonna touch it, and we're gonna be reasoning on MAGA. How do they say it? MAGA? Yeah, black MAGA. Alrighty, and what we need to do. We're gonna also talk about a little bit about Fatima Faso building a city. Yeah, we're going to be touching that as well. We definitely want to remind you to vote. Vote, vote, vote. Y'all have 5 days left, okay? So make sure that if you haven't gone out already, um to vote, make sure that you're ready to vote on the 5th, because I think today was the last day um for early voting. All righty. So if it's not, then go out wherever you need to go and go vote. Okay? All righty. We're going to talk a little bit about colorism. Colorism. Yes, in Jamaica, here, all over the world. We're going to talk a little bit about colorism as well. And we're going to talk about, is Puerto Rico is the trash that they're talking about really Puerto Rico? Who got a lot of nerve? Is it funny or is it not? We're going to touch that too. So we're all over the place tonight, folks. We're going to have a good time. We are going to have a fantabulously fabuloso time. So here we go as we kick it off. We're going to kick it off. Let me see here. We're gonna kick it off. I'm just gonna play one piece of this, just a little beanie snippet of this song right here. I'm gonna just a little snippet of this one right here. Oh no, oh no, we're gonna touch. You know what I'm saying? That's why I made sure I cut it off real quick. All right, annual 20 summit. Let's jump into it. Queen, what you got for us over
Well, the G Summit, it is something that is done once a year. Okay. Now, this one that we're going to touch on a little bit was done November 19th. And that one, oh, I'm sorry, September 10th. This one was done, 223. But there were some things that was discussed that are being manifest now in every and each country. The next one is going to be November 19th, 224. This is a gathering where you find different country. Normally, you'll find the U.S., you'll find it's 19 country now. And within those 19 country, 85% of that country is they are trade. They are big on trade. Okay. 91%, well, 75%, right? They are considered the big gurus. Okay. Now, This consists of Argentina, Australia, Brazil, Canada, China, France, Germany, India, Indonesia, Italy, Japan, Republic of Korea, Mexico, Russia, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, Turkey, United Kingdom, United States, and two regional borders, which is the European Union and the African Union. Now, these countries, they meet once a year, and what they do is they talk about what they need to do in each country, in their country. These are presidents and prime ministers. They all meet there in these countries. Now, those two extra entity, the European Union and the African Union, they, I guess they're overseeing the other countries that are not included at the conference each year. And this conference each year, the president is changed. It's a different country each year. This year it was um Lord of mercy, India. India was the country that was the president. So therefore they all went to India. All of the head of state, they went to India. And they talked about climate change. They know what is happening with the climate change and how it's affecting the countries globally. They also discuss the agenda, okay, the agenda in terms of building the structure in each country. Now, what I can understand is if Russia was there and China was there at this conference, what happened? How did the war come about? I mean, or was this discussed? Was this something that they decided was gonna continue? Um, you know, um, I'm just like puzzled because now I'm really seeing, and I've been looking through all of their datas and how they come about with this entity, and 19 country governing the whole world. I mean, it's kind of scary, and now I'm seeing why certain things are done clockwise. It will happen here in America, then next thing you know, it's happening in Jamaica. Next thing you know, it's happening because they're replica. It's like a replica in each country of what is happening and what is being done. Um, I'm just concerned about it, and I was just putting it out there to see what you guys think about it. Um, and again, is it part of climate change? Are they doing things to manipulate the climate? Um, what is going on, really and truly? I want to know because they're not really publicizing what is really being said. They just give you bits and pieces. When I look at the films, they just give you bits and pieces, but you're not seeing a whole conversation of what is happening there.
Well, you remember, Queen, a couple of weeks back, we had the same discussion as to climate change and the manipulation of the weather.
Right.
Um, and if these if these leaders of these countries are the one whom are causing a lot of these hurricanes and these
A
tornadoes
lot of things happening.
and
Yes.
things
Yes.
like that.
Yes.
So,
And from what I'm reading and what I'm gathering in my research, these people meet and they plan. They plan exactly what they're going to do, how they're going to fix the structure in that country, how they're going to do these, and they're supporting each other, you know. And then you hear they're fighting against each other, but yet still they're meeting. And I saw the film. I mean, elaborate dinners. These head they sitting up in these elaborate establishments and eating and powwowing with each other.
well,
And
these
I'm saying,
are,
look at that, and yet still they fighting against each other wars.
and then you also always think about this professed one world order that the leaders are trying to make happen. So it's
Yes,
things that makes you go, hmm. Acid, you want
Mm, yeah. But I encourage people,
acid?
it's on YouTube. Go in, or you can find it also on the search engine and look it up. Look up the the G20, it's called Summit, and it
Mama
happens every
Acid,
year.
Mama Acid, you want to touch it?
Well, I think it's kind of funny that this week the International Monetary Fund dropped a report and said that Jamaica's their favorite customer.
Mm.
It's Halloween. What more, what more appropriate?
Mm. I wonder why. I wonder why a little small country like Jamaica is their favorite country.
Because Jamaica hasn't defaulted on any of its loans, even though they're all vampire loans, and none of the problems in Jamaica have seemed to impair Jamaica's ability to repay its debt. So that means that Jamaica must be coming up with some extra money from somewhere. Hmm.
I wonder from where. Darespecta.
Yeah.
we
Mass man.
we
Darespecta, try
are
and scare
puppets.
us. Go ahead.
We are puppets.
Uh
The
huh.
people around the world are puppets to government. They use us, they abuse us, they think we are idiots. And maybe some of us are. It's all about money. Russia could have never invade Ukraine. That war would have never been had it been the world, the United Nations was together like they say they are. If America is number one in the world, America alone could have said hell to the no. There wouldn't have been no war. It's the reason. Knock down and rebuild the way they have it planned to rebuild. They don't care how many lives are lost. All the billions that's been sent, it's not for what y'all think it is. It's just a way of washing money to another country. It's all a world of criminals. The governments throughout this world, they are criminals, the real criminals. And
Anybody want?
they don't care who die, babies, unborn babies, they don't care who. When they're ready to drop the bomb to have their agenda become successful according to how they see it, nothing gonna stop him, only God himself.
Anybody want to touch on what the respecter said?
I just want to add this. The world is sitting back watching on television on all the major news networks what's happening in the Middle East, but everybody's ignoring what's happening in Africa.
Mhm.
That's been forever, mama.
Well, yeah, but then you see, the thing is that, you know, we have to really look into the African news to get the right information and to get the what's going on really in Africa, because really there's a nation that is doing so much, and the European system is against what he is doing. But I like what he's doing in terms of building his country, and getting his people involved in building the country without any outside intervention. Lady mentioned that person's name when we first started, and
Ibrahim Traore from
yes,
Burkina Faso.
hats off, because I've been watching him for the past couple of days. I've been watching him and watching some of the his beliefs and some of the things that he's doing in Africa. He's building a whole city. I mean, high rise build, just modern city he's building.
A
And
whole
when he first
country.
started, they were laughing at him. From what I was reading, they were laughing at him and saying how it's impossible for him to do that without outside intervention and outside funding. But the city is like halfway, and he's doing it. I mean, and I'm hoping that what he's doing will give other country incentive, even Jamaica incentive to do better and to stand by their people like he is doing, and stop holding the World Bank and all of that, because even the World Bank offered money and he refused.
Right.
Stop getting all, because you have to pay it back. So,
So,
you know,
do you think that is why we're not hearing a lot about Africa news? Because I would say, why should we have to go to African news in order to hear things about them when we hear about every other country and what they are doing? So
because
is
they
it
want to keep us down.
keep us out? Mama Acid and then the respecter. Go ahead. So Mama Acid, I see you shaking your head.
I think that one of the real issues with what's happening in Burkina Faso is that they have been fighting against Islamic terrorism for a long time. First, they were fighting against Boko Haram, then ISIS attacked them in April. So he's had 3 coup attempts, and they have done everything they can to exclude them from having a voice in the United Nations that would allow them to be able to vote on the Defense Council. Yet they are in the throes of war for more than 11 years, and they are still having democratic elections. People are still working and they are still voting, and
Mhm.
they have now banded together with their 2 border partners. And Mali just last week listened to Traore and went to the French colonial historical sites and took down the markers and said, we don't need to have this noted in our history. This is not our history. This is the colonialist history. We need to take these down everywhere. So Traore is doing the same thing now. So France is very angry, to
Yeah.
put it mildly. And another thing that I don't know if anybody paid attention to that Queen mentioned about all these people that are showing up in Russia to help fight against
Yeah.
Ukraine.
Hmm.
There are a lot of them that are black, and we need to ask, where are they coming from? But I can throw in a little bit on that. And some of them are people who were formerly incarcerated because they had came to the country illegally. So they told them, you could go fight in this war, and we'll take care of that prison sentence. And it's funny because it's not even like these were people who were captured in North Korea. That's the part that makes me wonder, how are these people being rounded up and all of a sudden showing up in these large numbers? And then the amount of US military advisors that are showing up in other countries. Like, why are
I
there so many US
told you
military
about that
advisors
G20 summit. I told
I mean,
this.
why are they sending them? Why are these US military people being sent all over the globe all of a sudden? I
They
mean,
have
I
a plan.
that's
There's
enough
a
questions for a
plan.
while.
Go ahead, the respecter.
I'm going to take back some things I said about the world government. It's not every government. And African government are now trying to rely on themselves. They're not
Hmm.
interested in interference because they're sick and tired of being told you can't do this or you need us to help you. We need to come in and dig up and do what we want to do and take over what we want to take out. Africans are walking. So they're not going to turn to America, France, or no one to do what they know they need to do and can do by themselves. And that's a great thing. And those people, we have to be careful. This show here, we may think somebody's not watching and listening, but they are.
Oh yeah.
A few weeks
All
ago,
around
we said the
the
same
world.
thing about instead of using locking up people, about use the prisoners, send them to go fight war. Remember, we said this on this show about 6 weeks ago.
Empires. and fires for 11 cents an hour.
Mm.
Yeah. Why don't they?
Yeah, that's those things going on. But all of the country, it makes you wonder because even in Jamaica, um, because since we talking about summit and government and what have you, I think this can throw in also um Tava Williams. She was put in as the education minister, and I was reading up on that, and from what she is saying that was her major in school. That was what she got her degree in, and what they did was they had stuck her into the education minister position, but that was not her field. So now she's in her field because she's the first woman that was appointed as Minister of Finance. She's taken Somudo, she's taken his place. Um, um,
I never
um,
understand Jamaican government. I never
mhm.
understand. I just can never put a finger
It
on
make you
Jamaican
wonder.
government because why would they put persons in positions that they are
Mhm.
not qualified for?
Qualified for.
So
That's
that
what
they can
I'm
continue
saying.
to control by rotation and keep
Mm,
That's
the
yeah,
exactly it.
yeah, yeah,
dysfunctional.
And
yeah,
there should be something against that continuing to happen in Jamaica.
yeah.
Where they should not be able to just put ministers into any positions that they just want to put them in.
I need
Yeah,
y'all to
because they put Dixon, they gonna put Dixon in her position, in the position
And
she
what
had as
what
Minister of
what
Finance.
experience does Dixon
Mhm.
have as an
That's
educator,
what I'm saying.
as a Ministry of Education? The
Because he
respect
wasn't
was
doing good in the post he was in. He wasn't doing good. I
um
mean, he was one of them robbing up all that money.
okay. The respecter was about to say something. Go ahead, the respecter.
I just need y'all to keep Jamaica your mouth.
Why are we supposed to keep Jamaica out of our Mount Zaro?
Don't let me come up there. Slap somebody.
Listen, we talk about all around the world. No country is off limits to Reason Thursdays. So if you have an issue with us discussing Jamaica, then that's your issue, Zaro.
Well, the
Are we talking to
country,
Zaro? Or are we talking to the respecter?
the country, the country of Westmoreland is not a
Yeah.
part of Jamaica.
When since the country of Westmoreland is not a part of Jamaica, are we
Cause
are we going back to the maroon business? Are we
no,
going to the maroons in Jamaica?
no,
And
I,
what
I
are
just
we
read,
going to?
I just read Donna's mind.
Oh my God!
What's up, Donna?
If I could see if you had said Kingston, because
Happy
there's a
Halloween.
place in Saint Vincent that is called Kingston. So I could see if you had said Kingston wasn't part of Jamaica, then I could understand. But Westmoreland, I mean, that's one of the main parishes in Jamaica.
You know what? Donna made some comments here. She says, oh, when we put on Thriller, Michael Jackson Thriller, she says that song tells the story of the things that we're currently facing. And
Yeah.
when you just said that, the respect in regards to, you just read Donna's mind. She put LOL. All righty. Okay, but yeah, it's we may have to visit that a little bit deeper, with the changing of ministers for Jamaica, changing of
Yes.
ministers, and what does the Constitution of Jamaica says about that? Is there something written in the Constitution that just freely allows them to just put people anywhere they want to put them? And where does the citizens of Jamaica start to protest when they don't have the correct representation in the ministries?
Mm.
Jamaica don't have constitution; they have institutions.
You said you just said don't talk about Jamaica. Mama Acid, you shaking your head. Yes. What you saying?
Well, okay. I think that part of the problem is that people don't know who to go to and complain. and people don't know enough about the Constitution. Remember, we talked about this, the very fact that they don't teach it in school, no one talks about it, and there's no real discussion about civics because nobody understands the government system. It's like they just make it up as they go along, which is how corruption happens. So that's the biggest problem, is that corruption in itself has pretty much become the system of government in Jamaica, and we need to quash that.
Mm. Donna says there's more than one Jamaica. Okay. So we have cloned the whole country of Jamaica now, Donna. All right, all right, all right. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna talk about that. Well, let's go. Let's trolley on over there to the Trumpster.
Mhm.
You all wanna touch the but before we even go to the Trumpster, um Mama Acid, your was it Queen or I think it was Queen, and you, Mama Acid, was stating about Fatima Faso and the building of okay the city. There
Yeah.
was Mama Acid. You was elaborating a little bit early in regards to a gentleman that was talking about the melanated population and the MAGA Trump MAGA business, and give us a little insight on what were you reasoning on.
Oh, yeah. I like to watch Karen Hunter on YouTube. She's Professor Karen Hunter. She's a wonderful, very level headed Black woman, educator, publisher, just all around cool sister. So this man called into her show and he said, he talked about who he was and about the fact that he was having a problem getting a commitment from a sister. And she said, what's the problem? And he explained who he was. And he said, because I'm MAGA. And she said, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. None of that went with what you just said. And she said, can you explain? And he said, well, I think it's time that we start taking things back. That if they want to make America great again, they took it from us because there's more of us. And we need to relate to the fact that we are the global majority on the planet, as well as population wise in the United States. Until we recognize that we are the global majority, we will continue to act like a fractured bunch of people. So he says the word MAGA is very triggering to them. And when you walk up to them and you say, yeah, I'm going to make America great again, and I don't need you and your hate to do it. And they don't like that because that indicates that you are owning some of your American assets and that you are not going to be more or less displaced because of their hatred and white stupidity. So, a red hat can mean one thing, but I'm sorry, my black dollar means a whole lot more than that.
I
And
wonder. Go ahead, the respecter.
I'm just gonna say that the MAGA and all that you just said, most American gonna agree. MAGA. Most American gonna agree.
Okay, that's a new way to put it. MAGA.
Mhm.
I'm just catching on to you. The
This
respect.
is this it's spelled the spelling is
The
spelled out.
spelling.
Most
Most
American.
Americans going to agree. Okay, I'm just
It's on
catching
point,
because
100%.
I'm instead of make America great again, MAGA, most Americans gonna agree. Well, you know what? It would be so funny for um Kamala Harris to start wearing a MAGA hat and wear it in blue.
Yeah.
I would love to see. I would love to see something like that. I would love to see her just come out with a MAGA hat in blue and and make a statement such as the respect to you need to send that in. I think you need
No,
to send that
that's
into
how
her campaign office. Huh?
your mama Asid have the connections. Mama Asid have the connection. She can make it happen.
We need to send that in really to the Harris camp and let them know that yeah, they need to step out in some MAGA hat. Most
Mhm,
Americans will gonna agree. Okay, they're gonna say
mhm.
we're talking Ebonics.
But they're wearing Kamala against everybody t-shirts, and they come from Detroit, so I can't knock the local market.
Okay, okay,
It's a black-owned company.
yeah, but it's all right. It's whatever makes is whatever's gonna work.
Look, they have
It's
an
all about whatever's gonna
organization called White Men for Kamala.
Yep,
I
that's what
Oh,
they
they
mean,
do.
they have an organization called that as well.
yes, White Men
Okay,
White
for
women
yeah,
too.
because
Kamala.
they have an organization, Blacks for Trump. So I mean,
Okay.
it's only appropriate that they have that as well. You know, earlier today I was reasoning with one of my employees, and she was saying, Lady D, are you Democrat or Republican? I said I'm neither. I consider myself to be a liberal. I'm one of those swing voters that what spells sense to me is where I'm going, you know. So she was like, that's deep because, we got into a more deeper conversation with it. And I showed her my views on the two sides, why I consider myself to be liberal, because there's things that, some things that Republicans stand for that I gravitate to. And there's some things that Democrats stand for that I gravitate to as well, you know. And I went into breaking a lot of that down to them. But when it's all said and done, what I'm going to go where my heart leads me. And I'm going to vote based on factual and not just what persons are spitting out. And I encourage each and every one, when you are going to vote, even before you go vote, sit down and really look at your candidates. Not only look at your candidates, but look at the people that they're surrounded around and see if the hate is what you want to be a part of and which hate is greater, you know, and which one of those hates you fit in. Because both sides are spitting some hate there. And I just wish that we can all focus on love and not so much hate. But honestly, the Republican, I was very, very disappointed with the last rally that took place. I was very disappointed because I
Mm.
felt that somewhere along that entire presentation there, someone should have shut the mic off.
Yes, somebody
Someone
should be
shut the mic
accountable for that.
off.
Yes, yes.
Someone should have pulled, because
Mm,
we are all adults. We know what is a joke and what is not, what's funny and what's not
mm,
funny. And the thing about it is that the speakers that were up there were so angry.
mhm,
I even have one of the clips that when I'm listening to it, I'm like, do I really want to be a part of this type of anger? But it's not even anger. It has came to the point where it sounds like downright hatred. And politics doesn't need, it shouldn't be about hate. It should be about putting policies and laws in place for the citizens of your country. That is best for the citizens of your country. Not,
especially America being diverse as it is.
yeah, not all these personal attacks upon attacks upon attacks. I mean, we are making it so personal that it's no longer about laws,
Mhm.
you know. But go ahead. I give someone else a chance to speak up. The
I
respect. Go
was
ahead.
I was thinking about it all day,
Yeah.
and mainly the two comedians. And this man,
Mhm.
something hit me.
Mhm.
Donald Trump really probably don't have nothing to do with that. It's his running mate. He seems to be the main dum dum who think that's what the party needs. If you think about it and look back on some of the things he's been saying, different from Mr. Trump, I think he's the one behind it, that those so-called jokes. But those are not jokes.
But
The real
but but
joke
listen
is gonna
there,
come.
Wait
there.
a minute,
The,
Queen. Wait a minute, Queen. Go ahead. The
the,
respecter.
the real joke is gonna come when one of those comedians get a phone call or email to go and do a show. And when they get happy and go for that show, it's gonna be an audience full of Puerto Ricans. And they're gonna want to run and they're gonna fall to their face. Not gonna be nice. They're not gonna take no show no time soon, I promise you. Because they're gonna realize they messed up. And they didn't just affect Puerto Ricans, they affect black folks too. And the truth of the matter is, if they sit their butt down and eat some watermelon, maybe they will have some temperament like black people and foreigners. They're too angry. They turn red too quickly. They're on fire because they believe in hate and not love.
Yeah.
And the world is laughing at them and clinging to each other. People of color are now drawing closer to each other. And the white race, the ones who are hateful, are going to find themselves by themselves.
Go
Plain and
ahead.
simple.
Go ahead, Queen.
Do you really think so? The respecter. Do you really think that people are changing because they heard that? Let me
That
tell you
is,
something. This man went out and he said, when they asked him about it, he said he didn't know nothing about it, but it was a party. They had fun. It was a festival. Huh?
that's what he's supposed to say.
I mean, come on now. I I I think he is aware of everything that is going on because Trump is the type of individual he's not just gonna let anything happen. He
He's
needs to
not
know
aware,
because he
Queen.
knows it. So he gotta know what is going on in every aspect of this election. Okay,
Most times
yes,
he's
he
sleeping.
talks some craziness because his mind is not right. He's losing it. But
Yes,
he still knows because I'm quite sure they briefed him on certain things. But yet still he still did not apologize. Instead of him apologizing, he said it was a festival and they had fun. It was fun. Eh? What
he's
that
not going to
tells you.
apologize.
And the American people are still not seeing that. They're still doubting who to vote for and if they should vote. Come on now, you should vote because we need to get him out. We need for him not to get into power. So that's why we should vote because this man has issues. He has problems. His own family members come out and says he's a narcissist and he has a lot of issues. His niece or whoever she is came out and said so. I mean, and several others. Look at these generals coming out that used to serve him. Now they're coming out and telling how he is. People need to pay attention. When you go out there to vote, you need to vote to somebody who is going to make this country better and not for worse.
There's no doubt in what you just said. Everything you said is true. I'm just saying that they probably run it by him that there's going to be some comedians on there. They didn't run the jokes by him. And then maybe if they did run the jokes by him or the so-called jokes, maybe you would have said, go for it. But I'm just saying, I don't think
But
everything
he
they,
should apologize.
he's never going to apologize.
And that's what I got ready to say. What are
That's
you
what I'm
talking about?
saying.
Apologize.
What are you
That's
talking
what
about?
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's why
He's
he
not
don't
in
fit
his
to be a
character.
president. That's why he's not fit to be the president.
He's not in his character to apologize. And if he does, he will, most persons will say it's weak. And who's going to believe him anyway? A lot of persons going to see why bother waste his mouth and apologize when the majority isn't even going to believe that he sincerely is apologizing. You see
He
what I'm
said
saying?
my he
Based
said
on
my bad to
time.
somebody once
Uh-huh.
because he was when he cut the cheese, it was so loud. He never tried to say my bad. You didn't hear that one?
That's sad. That's sad. That's sad. That's sad.
Isn't it?
It's a sad thing. It's 9:11 right here on the Powerhouse Clock. You're vibing with Reason and Thursdays each and every Thursdays with yours truly, Lady D, Mama Acid, Darespecta, and Queen. Each and every Thursdays, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. when there's no topic that is off limit right here to be discussed. And if you miss a little bit of Reason and Thursdays, you're not just missing a little bit, you're missing it a lot. If you have a topic that you want to be discussed, reasoned on right here on Reason and Thursday, please send it to DA Powerhouse Radio at gmail.com. That's DA Powerhouse Radio at gmail.com. And make sure on the subject line you put Reason and Thursday. So that way we know to they know to forward it on over to our program. And we'll definitely, most definitely reason on it. All right. We also want to invite you to check out the Lady D show each and every Thursday on Saturdays from 12 p.m. up until the 4 o'clock hour. All righty. Each and every Thursday, 4 o'clock hour. I also want to give massive shouts to all of our sponsors, One by One Kia, the Hinkson Law Firm, Unique Total Care, Awesome Renovation, Mystique Enterprise, Honey Child's Kitchen, and the library. Mama asked to give me the library.
Black Trueberry. We are here live.
Trueberry, the
See
black
us.
Trueberry. That's what I didn't have on my paper here. The black Trueberry. We want to say massive shouts to all for all of the stations that are carrying our program. We want to say big shouts to you, especially you choose radio. I want to say massive shouts to you. Thanks for carrying our program each and every Thursday. And the victorious 89.1 FM radio right here in the Atlanta area. Want to say massive shouts go out to you, to all of our loyal listeners. Want to say massive shouts to you. When it's time, we're going to open our telephone. We're not opening the line as yet, but we will open the line, and it is a Skype line. So if you have Skype, then you most definitely can call in. It's go all around the world. So for all of our world listeners, we want to say massive shouts to you. If you're listening via our telephone lines, 667 930 9036. Want to say massive shouts to you if you're listening via our website at www.dapowerhouseradio.com. Want to say massive shouts to you if you're listening via the TuneIn app, our Zello and Zeno and Shout, all the apps that you're listening to us. We want to say massive shouts go out to you as well. Sister, we have a comment here. Juliet says, "Evening, everyone. I don't know the topic. Oh, because she's just tuning in, but it's very interesting. Love you all." Juliet says she don't know the topic, but yet whatever we talking about is interesting. We always interesting over here, Julie. We always interesting over here. But thanks for joining us. That's why I always tell y'all, if you miss a little bit, you miss a lot. All right. So you got to catch us as we go on each and every Thursdays at 8 p.m. But we did discuss a couple of things already, and we're gonna continue. We're gonna coming up in this next segment. We're gonna touch a little bit of what's going on in the entertainment, and it's just based off of a relationship. We also want to touch colorism. Yeah, the respect brought to us colorism. So we're gonna definitely touch that as well.
And
And
can we please have an update on what is going on with P. Diddy?
you know what? I didn't even research. We research P Diddy, And are we going to talk about P. Diddy? We don't even want to talk. You know, we have
Well,
not
we
even
did
addressed.
a couple of weeks back, but we never we were out,
I have
remember?
a
So
quick
we
update.
didn't hit it. Mm.
What you want to say, the respecter?
I got a quick update.
What's the quick update?
He's still gonna be there for a year.
That's a good one. That's a
Mm.
good one. That's the update. He's still going to be here for a year.
Yeah, 10
Okay.
months.
Okay. Because he still haven't gotten any bail, right?
No bail.
Uh, oh man, I'm telling you. Yeah, so let's jump right into the respect to colorism.
Yeah, I got a little something on Facebook reel
Uh-huh.
about colorism,
All right.
and unfortunately, many are looking sad, being sad. The bullies of the world, man, women, boys, and girls. Yeah, hatred and we disrespectfulness in this world. Colorism, white privilege, brown skin privilege. Still in this world, ain't going nowhere. Brown skin beauty, blackness. Don't let them scare you, frighten you, put you down. Ain't nothing wrong with your dark skin. Ain't nothing wrong with your black skin. Black is beautiful all day, every day. All right, that's enough.
All right. So where you taking us with that? Where you taking us? What's
Well,
going
I'm
on while you
taking it.
touch that?
There is a lot of dark skinned men and women throughout this world,
Yeah.
like myself, who love the skin we're in. And we're
Yeah.
never gonna let light skin or white skin make we feel like something is wrong with us. And it's good to hear the positive across the board, dark skinned people standing up and saying, we ain't got nothing against you, light skinned people, white people. You all have something against us. We're not lashing out at white folks and brown skinned people. They don't want lashing out and have something negative against black people, dark skinned people. So the problem is not the dark skinned people, it's the light skinned and brown skinned people who think because their complexion and they may have some money and status to balance their complexion, it makes them privileged over the dark skin, the black skin, and it makes them even more angrier and kind of draw back because they realize certain set of blacks is just gonna laugh in your face and keep moving. They're not gonna argue with you. They're not gonna fuss with you. So when you show your ugliness, they're just gonna smile and walk away, like I would do. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
All right. So obviously this topic has came from somewhere. Why you're reasoning on it?
Well,
Is it
both.
because a lot of black skinned people are bleaching to
No,
become
no,
light? Where it's
no.
coming from?
This morning I saw Usain Bolt, and he was just talking about when he was young and coming up and getting into the track and field, and he was living. I forgot what era he said, and he was shocked to see how he was treated by the light skin, brown skin people, and he said he couldn't wait to get enough money to move out of that community. And even today, he's saying it's getting worse. And all kinds of people are now flooding the internet explaining their take on it. And it's a whole lot of positive and a whole lot of negatives. But like I'm saying, black people, dark skinned people, know that they're beautiful. They're not around their complexion, they're not around their looks. And they're not gonna let light skin and brown skin scare them and bully them to feel like something is wrong with being dark skinned. A whole lot of people on the internet saying it. And a lot of light skinned people are saying that, yeah, they're disgusted with the light skinned people who are that way.
Mhm.
So it's not that every dark, every brown skin and white skin is that way.
Yeah. And colorism has been an issue, has been a topic or part of life for since Whoopi killed Philip. Because if you look back even in back in slavery days and things like that, the lighter you were, the more favors that were giving to you. And to this day it is still the same when it comes to persons of lighter color. May they all even be bunched up in one category of being called melanated skin people or black people or whatever. um you know the lighter of the skin it's more favorable to some. You want to
Can I
touch it?
jump in?
Go ahead. Yeah, jump in.
Okay.
Go ahead, jump in.
Until you have been called rape colored by a dark black person, you can't really understand it because you don't understand the scorn that you get on both sides. I can sit here and I can listen, and I know that the respecter is speaking truth. But by the same token, who cares about what I've been through simply because of the color of my skin? I get put in the middle of every sandwich, and I don't want to be in the sandwich at all. So, one of the issues that we're going to have to stop doing as people is classifying people by color, because we can see right now it doesn't work. Some of the most hateful people that we've been listening to lately, Mark Robinson, I'll stop with him because I think that's enough. Is a good example of that. We have put too much stock in color and not enough in.
So you're saying, Mama Acid, that colorism is affected on both ends, because persons whom are darker, such as the respecter is saying, has faced a lot of colorism, but you're saying persons whom are light, as yourself as well, has is also faced a lot of colorism issues, because
From both
black
sides.
persons whom is darker be like, oh, maybe because they lighter, they get all the attention, they're this, they're that, you know, and then it's the same thing on the other end. But I think the respecter is saying that it is more on the negative aspect, the darker you are than on the lighter, and that persons whom are lighter get more favor than persons
And
who are darker.
And who is to measure that? The person that's been scorned? If,
Okay.
if you throw a rock at a window, does it matter what color the window is? The intention was to break the window.
Real deal.
well, that brings you to what was the intention of Tony Inchcliffe when he talked about the Puerto Rican people, and not just that, but also in 2021 he also did the same thing to this Asian man called Ping Dong, and he's an entertainer, and he did the same thing he did to him, racial stuff he said about him. And even his agency, which was the WME agency, they several ties with him. Now that's what I'm saying about Trump knowing, or should have an idea of what this man is about, because he has done this, and he said he's not going to apologize, because that is part of being a comedian. You hurt people's feelings, and you say things that to promote your comedy, and you think about it, yes, you can crack jokes, but racial jokes, it hurts, especially when you're talking. about people that and it's not so. Even with Vance saying what he said about the Asian. I mean, come on now. How far should you go? You know, in term. Yes, we know it's been there because Mama, I thought she would have been on tonight because she experienced it in Jamaica in the '60s when she was working in the bank, and she tells me the story of her the racism that was dealt to her with the light skin and the dark skin in Jamaica in the '60s. And I think it still carries over. We know it's hidden and it's not gone and it's out there. So we just have to deal with it, I
Queen,
guess, right?
can I remind you something, Queen?
Yes, sir.
And Mama Acid and my Lady D.
Yes, go ahead.
God is brilliant. He know how to set up people. What they did was a setup because it brought people on the other side of where they probably was going to go that way. Now they're going this way. So it's a benefit for love over hate, peace over ignorance. And they now realize what they did. They crushed themselves. Because if 10 people out of the thousands were going to vote for them, they're not going to get those votes no more.
Exactly. That's the
Well, I'm
point.
hoping so. I'm hoping that these people eyes open up and see what this man is about. You know, hopefully we're hoping. And remember, it's not just blacks and Hispanics that still didn't vote. You have white folks that still didn't vote either, you know. So let's just pray that people use their judgment and use their conscience and vote the right way.
And that the right way is however they choose. Is their
However they
right
choose,
way.
but I would still
Yeah,
say vote for Camilla because to me, she's the best of both evil.
yeah.
Okay, so let me just throw something after that. We keep having these conversations about what have you done for me lately? Okay. They asked Kamala about a week ago when she was in Detroit what was her stance on reparations. And she said she agrees with reparations. She said it would have to be a plan worked out, but that she agrees with it. Okay. After that, there were a bunch of people, and I really should, I'm going to go ahead and say it, ADOS and FBA people. Okay. Those are the people who are hooked up with Yvette Carnell, Tony in California, and Tariq Nasheed. Tariq Nasheed is a pimp. He has written books saying that he's a pimp. And he said anybody who lets go of free money is ignorant and they should give it to him. So people who are following them are saying don't vote for Harris until she gives you a plan on how you're going to get reparations, when in essence this is a blanket program that they're asking her to respond to, that they haven't asked a single other person to respond to, because Donald Trump hasn't been asked about reparations. And quite frankly, until they ask him about reparations, I don't think they need to ask nobody else about nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah, I
Mm.
agree with that.
So
Yeah.
in colorism, there are some colors we need to pay attention to. We need to pay attention to the red and the blue in America and the orange and the green in Jamaica. Why?
Okay.
Because they equate to blood. Each one of them has spilled black blood. And
Yeah.
until they start cleaning up that blood and putting money back in our community and enabling us, we really still need to have some hard conversations, even though it's difficult to have a conversation like this close to an election, because we have to support her. But the point is quite clear. How do we know who really supports us if we can't see their actions? So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Jeff Bezos lost 250,000 subscribers to the Washington Post today. He did that because he didn't want to endorse Kamala Harris. That was his choice because he is the second richest person on the planet. The richest person on the planet is also supporting Donald Trump, and
Trump, yeah.
Leon is helping to fund eugenics because he funds Stephen Miller, who is a straight eugenicist. He was the one who was up there hollering and screaming at the Trump rally, turning red and crying, about the purity of America. When we question what that doctrine all relates to, and we look at that 2025 book, which if anybody needs it, all you got to do is send an email to blacktrueberry@gmail.com and I will send it right out to you. It is a zip file. You open it up and you can search it by putting in a keyword. You can go right to what you want in it. Same thing with Kamala Harris's plan. I have her plan also bookmarked, and if you need that, send a link. Just send me your email address to blacktrueberry@gmail.com and I will send that to you so you understand exactly what the two plans really are and who actually offers us.
So Mama Asid, what is the plan? Because we have 5 days before election, right? We have 5 days in America before election. So what is as quickly as we can say it, as in a short, as compact, let's say, as we can let the listening audience know, what are the plan of the two running mates?
Kamala Harris plan for America. Give me a second. I'm looking it up.
Let's hear what are the plans, because there are still persons whom are undecided. There are persons that are rattling on the Republican. There are persons that are rattling on the Democrats, and persons like myself, whom is a liberal, whom is right in between, and we can be swinged on either side. Tell me, what do I need to know to make a solid decision on the 5th of whom I'm going to vote for, since today was the last early voting day?
I want you to see what website I'm using so you can see where these facts are coming from.
Okay.
PolitiFact. You see that?
All right. PolitiFacts. Okay.
Now, PolitiFact runs down the lines and tells you what the issues are. The first issue was abortion. She says eliminate the filibuster to restore the Roe v. Wade precedent on abortion. Okay, I agree with her on that. The economy, ban corporate price gouging on food and groceries. Okay, on taxes, she will not raise taxes for those earning less than $400,000 a year. She will enact a minimum tax for billionaires, and she plans to roll back Trump's tax cuts for the wealthy Americans and increase the tax rate on long-term capital gains to 28% for those earning at least $1 million a year, which is excellent. Then she plans to expand the child tax credit to $6,000 for families with newborns. She's going to quadruple the tax on stock buybacks, which is absolutely wonderful because that in itself would raise approximately $79 billion over the next 10 years. On immigration, she's going to sign a bipartisan border security bill. Okay,
that's the one Trump vetoed. Yeah,
exactly. On housing, she wants to provide first-time home buyers with up to $25,000 for down payments, plus more generous support for first-generation homeowners. She wants to build 3 million more rental units and affordable homes. She wants to outlaw new forms of price fixing by corporate landlords. So, like we see Zillow and Redfin buying up all these houses and these banks using them for Airbnb until they could decide to sell them. That
Yeah.
$25,000 down payment will cost the government more than 220 billion over 10 years. But look at what it would do for the wealth factor for the country. On guns, she would ban assault weapons and high capacity magazines. And she would require universal background checks for gun sales because she's already told us she's a responsible gun owner.
Yeah.
Yes.
Voting, he would sign the John Lewis Voting Rights Act and the Freedom to Vote Act, which is really important. She would, on civil rights, she would pass the Equality Act to protect LGBTQ plus Americans from discrimination. On health care, she would extend the $35 cap on insulin and $2,000 cap on out-of-pocket spending to all Americans. She would make tax enhancements for health care premiums permanently because they're set to expire in 2025. She wants to launch a national health equity initiative to address health challenges that disproportionately impact Black men, Darespecta. She love y'all. She want to take on pharmacy benefit managers who are controlling the prices of drugs by buying in bulk and then changing the drug market. She wants to get rid of that. She wants to have Medicare cover in-home health care. That's what they should be doing.
Yeah.
Okay? That doesn't make sense for them not to. On legal issues, she wants to ensure that no former president has immunity for crimes committed while in office.
Right.
She wants to require Supreme Court justices to comply with ethics rule. And she wants to put term limits on Supreme Court justices.
That's what we talking about. Okay, I didn't know that. Go ahead.
Labor. She wants to raise the minimum wage. I agree with that across the board. She wants to eliminate the tax on tips. That was already done by Biden and they got pissed off. But that, you know, that revenue is going to be 118 billion over the course of 10 years. She wants to establish paid family and medical leave. And that should have been done a long time ago. It's stalled by the Republicans. She wants to end sub-minimum wages for tip workers and people with disabilities. Like if you work at some place like Volunteers of America or one of those types of resale places, they could pay you as little as $2 an hour and get away with it.
Yeah.
Double the number of apprenticeships. She said there are an estimated 600,000 apprentices in the United States. Some labor economists have urged the United States to follow the lead of European countries in relying more heavily on an apprentice-based model, and it is less expensive and it is the best alternative to higher education. And she wants to end the 4-year college degree requirements for federal jobs where appropriate. That is so important.
All right. What about Trump? Give us some of them on the.
Wait a minute, I'm not finished. She wants to
limit for time.
I know, but this is important. Okay, this section right here is kind of important.
Go ahead.
She wants to limit businesses from unnecessarily using criminal arrest histories, convictions, and credit scores in employment decisions. They should not be able to ask you if you have been convicted of a felony if it doesn't apply to the position that you are applying for. She wants to sign the Pro-Labor, Pro-Act, and Public Service Freedom to Negotiate Act.
All right, move on to Trump. Move on to Trump real quick because we still have the entertainment side. Go ahead.
Okay. For small business, this is very important for you. She wants to generate 25 million new business applications. She wants to expand the startup expense tax deduction for new businesses from 5,000.
We want to hear about Trump. She's saying some great things. I'm loving what I'm hearing. What's Trump saying?
Trump ain't saying nothing. She wants to provide $1 million in loans to Black entrepreneurs, fully forgivable up to $20,000. On foreign policy, this is very important. She wants to secure hostage and ceasefire deals between Israel and Hamas.
Wait a minute. You going back to Kamala, or we talking Trump?
No, we're talking about Kamala. Trump doesn't have
No,
anything.
I don't want to.
She
I don't
said
want
Trump ain't got nothing.
Plan. Trump doesn't have a plan. Trump's plan is
You're gonna
big book
hear.
2025. That is Trump's plan.
All right,
Okay,
that's
tell us
true.
a little bit about Project 2025. What you know about that?
Wait a minute. Let me finish this because we're getting down to the fentanyl issue.
No, we gotta
Anyway,
hurry.
all that.
It's 9:41. We're moving on. So to just
We
come
got
down
more
real
than
quick.
enough.
What is what's
Some
going
of
on?
this is really important, like
And
extended
what?
affordable connectivity program to support internet access globally. I'm sorry, for Americans. More than 23 million households
All right.
lost
So
internet.
what we're gonna
because
do
of it.
is direct the listeners. Go to politico.com,
It's politifact.com.
politifax.com. Go to politifax.com, and you can see what the plan is that Kamala has for the country, for United States of America, if she is voted in as president. Go to politico.com and look at what the plan is that Trump has, which is Project 2025, and see and go off of that and see whom you would like to vote for. All right,
Okay.
it is important. Go
What-
ahead, Asid.
Okay. On fact checks in PolitiFact, you can fact check what Donald Trump has said because they got it here and it's a whole bunch of it, and they definitely throwing false up on everything he's saying. So he's been telling a lot of lies, and all of it, like he's talking about cutting Social Security, and he's really doing a lot of talking about money and about things that are going to happen that he has no plan for. So if he doesn't have a plan for it, and you look on this page and you see
Donna says
97 PolitiFact checks against him.
Donna says Trump is her candidate. Donna says Trump doesn't have anything to do with Project 25. If so, what you have to say, or what is in political facts check that is going to let Donna and list and swing voters such as myself see that Donald Trump does have something,
But
or
he
don't
said
have
so.
anything to
He
do with
said
Project
so.
25.
But
Go
he said
on
it's
to
not what we think.
politifact.com
He
and
said
then
so. He said that
put
it's not what
in,
we think.
put in Project 2025 in the search bar, and it will show you all of the stuff that Donald Trump has said that's false, true, mostly false. You can see it all right there. All of it is right
Where
there.
he has said that he has nothing to do with 2025.
It's all right here.
Is it stating there that he's lying, that is false?
It's telling you what was said, who said it, and what the date was.
His name is mentioned in there over 300 times.
In Project 2025?
Yes,
It's
his name
called
is mentioned.
politifact.com, and then you put in the search Project 2025, and it will bring up all of the fact checks. It'll bring up all of the articles. The fact checks are 4,175, and the articles are 1,450.
Okay, because I'm done taking my blood pressure. These blood pressure cups, they make my arms sweat, and when it gets tight. All right, so if anybody need me to take their blood pressure, Nurse Lady D would take your blood pressure, the respecter. So you have Nurse Lady D here. You have the library, Mama Asid, and you have Zorro, the respecter, and you have the I3s, the queen. All righty. So it is what they celebrate Halloween. So we're we're just going in the mix. Not that we are into it, but we just going in the mix. All right. So you know what? Elections on the serious note, just going out there and vote, you know. And as we've been telling you for the last 18 years, it's important for you to vote. It's even more important for you to vote in your general local elections because these people who are going to cast these deciding votes, the electors that you all have voted for, like back in June and back in those times when we were telling you people to get to them polls, they're the one who's going to really pass, who's going to really cast those deciding votes as to the president of the United States. So yes, this is very important because it shows the majority of the people of whom they want. But it is even more important for you to vote during your local elections for your sheriff, your representatives in your districts representative. All of those are the most important. It's time to vote, people. All righty. But anyway, we're gonna move on and we're gonna close it out with a topic that was sent into us and is touching in the entertainment segment. Persons wrote in saying that what about Shorty? Now, you all know I'm gonna be straight. I don't really follow this Vibes Cartel and Shorty business and all of these business. But I took a chance, I took some time today to watch one and two of the clips that are out there. And you know, dealing with a man such as Vibes Cartel, it's like thinking back before he was incarcerated and all of what he was dealing with as to the whole bunch of women and the he wasn't really a nice person, and I think that she endured a lot. She dealt with a lot. Oh, now Mama asked if we got the shades on. Now we went from okay, but she endured a lot. And even when he was incarcerated, she stood by him, I think, a lot. And if she got to a point in her life where she felt that she needed to move on, then I don't see what the whole bunch of bashing is all about.
Okay, can I make one comment about Vibes Cartel?
What?
She
You
flushed
did
him
not go
down
through
the
the
drain. Did
to
you
flush
send
him.
him down the
You
drain,
wanted
I
to
sure
Acid?
did. I
flush
sure
him.
did.
You sent him down the drain.
I
I
was,
sure
I was,
did.
I was, lady.
Mama Esther went into the bathroom and flushed Cartel.
What? I was.
I just think people need to back up off of her. She is she has gone through a lot, and sitting there all of these years before he was even incarcerated and dealing with the I'm going to say the effery that he was dealing with. Man, I
Mm.
applaud her for moving on and doing her thing. Oh, Gillette says no, she didn't. Mama asked her, she said, no, you did not flush the man down the toilet. Yes, she did. Go ahead, the respecter.
It ain't
As
the
a
first
man,
time.
the respecter. I mean,
Well,
give us
well,
from a man's perspective.
well. I'm now judging man differently because I can't have nothing negative against him because I would have to look into the Bible and say there's the kings in the Bible who are responsible for thousands of killings and having thousands of wives, concubine. So we can't be reading the Bible about mass murderers and womanizers, accepting them, going along with those behaviors, and people who we actually know in real life who made a mistake or two we want to crucify them and send them down the toilet.
You know, that's bias. That's
Mhm.
bias.
He's
That's a
nothing but a
bias.
low
That's a
class
bias
Jeffrey
thought there,
Epstein.
the respecter. Because if that is the case, then I'm gonna say, well, why don't give Trump a chance then? If although he said he grabbed the women by the thing, if that's the case, if you're gonna come with that logic as to why it's okay for him to treat her the way he did before he was incarcerated, and then people expecting her to sit there and all these years, 13 years, she's been faithful or whatever, and if in the last 2 years she hasn't been, then mighty God, he was
Okay.
never faithful to her.
But
Okay.
and he had
Listen.
somebody.
He
That
never
woman
been
he
right.
married,
He had
she
how
was
many
around.
babies? How many
She was
children he
around.
had this
But
guy?
that woman he married to, she been around for at least 3 years at least.
He's
She
not
didn't
married
just
to
come
them.
around.
He's not married to them. And you know what? I don't judge anyone because everyone has a past. Is what's going on in
Lady,
the present and the future. Everyone has a past. And
again,
I'm just saying, go ahead. What you saying? Go ahead.
one of the reasons for that is, and I
Uh-huh.
just read Donna's mind. It's because it's because that's not Vibe. That's not the real Vibe cartel.
Now you got Donna calling.
I knew she was
We
gonna
have
call her name
Donna, we
one
have
more
6
time.
minutes. We have 6 minutes.
Oh,
6 minutes is what we have left. Why you go call up Donna to respect her? Well, that's not
yes,
Vibes Cartel.
Respecter, you're absolutely correct. Because if you look at that thing and you tell me that that's Vibes Cartel, I'm gonna think something's wrong with you. Does that look like Vibes Cartel to anyone? Come on, be for real. This is, I don't know if they killed him in jail. I
I
don't know
didn't
if
even
they're
I
torturing
didn't
him.
even
I don't know
open
what's
our
going
line.
Bunny said they did him bad in there.
Our lines are open. Donna just opened our lines. Our lines are
on.
open. If you would like to call in 706 955 2001, the 706. We have what, 6 minutes? And we should have opened it 10 minutes ago, people. But
Yeah,
706 955 2001. Our lines are open. And if you are around the world, our Skype is a Skype to Skype is free. So if you got Skype on your phone, then definitely just call in. Go
Make it
ahead,
short
Don.
and sweet.
yeah, right. So that's not Vibes Cartel at all. Okay. And it hasn't been him for quite some time. Um, and I'm gonna touch on some other entertainers as well. That's not Tupac or
So what,
Biggie
you think
in
he
those
died in
films.
there? You think he died in there?
Mhm,
You think he died
mhm.
in jail?
Queen said, "Do you think he
He could have
died in
been, yeah, he
jail?"
could have. He could have died there, or he's being tortured, or or something. But that's not
Okay,
him. I
Donna.
can tell you
We
that
are
right now.
okay because you
And
just said there's 2 Jamaicans on the
right there,
chat. You just wrote in here there is 2 Jamaicans. Where did you get to?
yes,
So the whole entire Jamaica, the island of Jamaica, is cloned, Donna.
yes.
Lady,
Okay, listen. We
hold on.
have many worlds. In these many worlds, you have many copies of us in our countries. Okay, so it's more than one America, it's more than one Jamaica, it's more than one of every place in the world, just like it's more than one Lady B, it's more than one Donna, it's
No,
more than one Mama Acid,
no,
Queen. It's
no.
yes, yes it is.
There's
I'm
only one
telling
Lady D. There's only one Lady
we
D.
go through
Lady,
this. Okay, I had a court hearing yesterday, and
Uh-huh.
you're telling me stuff. I was never in another court hearing in regards to the case that I had. Okay, when I address it, people think or want to brush it off, or they don't,
Okay.
whatever cover up is going on. Okay, this is what happened when you separated me and my family, and you
Okay.
said that my dad died when I was
Okay.
25. He never
Okay.
died.
We gonna go back
Donna,
to
Okay,
the relationship, loyalty
okay,
of
the Lord,
Shorty with Vibes Cartel. Okay.
because
And
Does
that's
Donna
go
not
mean
ahead.
we live on
him.
a
What you say,
flat
Mama
earth?
Acid? What you say, Mama
Does
Acid?
Donna mean we live on a flat earth?
If I'm saying that we live on a flat earth or the earth is round,
Or the earth is hollow?
I according to them, because 1 minute they said the Earth was flat, then they changed it and they said the Earth was round. So, based on their hypothesis of what the Earth is, we're gonna say that the Earth is round. Um, the Earth that we're on now, I don't know if it's round or flat because I don't know what Earth this is. We're living in a
The
new
earth is not.
dimension.
The earth is not.
This is not our America or
Donna.
any of the places. That's not Jamaica or
Okay.
any of the countries that make up this world.
We're not going into Donna's rhetoric that each and every week we are faced with Donna's rhetoric of there are clone people. One day we're gonna focus on these dimensional things and these aliens and these cloning.
Of course,
we are watching too much. We are watching too much Clone Tyrone.
And that is what I was about to say, Lady.
No, it's
You're
something
right,
that this is what
Wait a minute.
the
What
war
did you say?
is.
What you said, Darespecta?
I was about to say the same thing that kind of what you're saying, that come January, the first Thursday in January, we're gonna give Donna 30 minutes by herself.
Exactly. Thank you very much. Please do. And let me just talk, and so you guys can understand me, and then you can make your comments. Of course, they're gonna say what other people is gonna hex, and I don't hate anyone who disagrees with what I might be saying. No. I just like to be clear. Okay.
Let me say this about Mama Asid.
But real quick, because we got 2 minutes now. Real quick.
Can I answer this question, Mama Asid?
Go ahead.
The earth is not flat and it's not round. It's different sections of the earth. In order for the world to be the way it is, it's flat but different sections throughout this world. That's why you can leave America and fly over the ocean and you land in another country. But it's not, each country is not lined up like this, even all the way throughout the world. It's different levels. As you go from across the ocean, the seas, it's impossible for it to be flat all the way through. It's impossible for it to be round. They're saying gravity, but China cannot be under America like this.
I heard someone reasoning on that same thing, the Respecter, and they even brought in the North Pole and this. Everyone talks about the North Pole. Yeah. So what happened to the East Pole and the West Pole and the South Pole? Everything that we're focused on is the North Pole.
But, you see, I put my shades on, right?
See? What about the four corners of the earth?
I'm not high trees no more. I'm alien now.
Alien now.
What about the four corners of the earth?
Lord of mercy.
And we'll talk about it another time.
We gotta appease my sister. We gotta appease my sister Donna and give her a segment. Okay.
No, we gotta appease Donna. We gotta appease Donna.
Yeah.
Because you know what? We have questions really. And I don't when we do this, Donna, I really don't want to focus on Donna and Donna family. I want to hear about your rationale as to why everyone is cloned, your rationale as to the aliens, your rationale as to it being another dimension, and we're not in this dimension that we're in. So we don't want to focus on your court case. We don't want to focus on none of that. We want to focus on where your belief and why you believe, and about all of this cloning and all of that. Okay, that's what we
before we hang up from this show tonight. I just want to say, do you hear like this music that they call this music with Tupac and Biggie? That's not them. That is not.
Okay, we're gonna let you.
That's not them dissing each other. They're just using their right.
we gonna like the
That,
respecter said, next year we gonna let you rationalize it. But for the rest of this year, we staying in this dimension. We staying right here, and
well,
we're
whatever
not doing.
this is not our dimension, and that's just the whole thing. Whom are these
But what
individuals
about
who look
after
like us, sounds
the
like us, and
announcement
it's
of
not
the
us?
election?
What you
We
say, Mama
Donna has to
Acid?
come
We
back
have to
and
go.
tell us how
We
she
have to go. We
feels.
have to go. What you say, Mama Acid? Then let me.
What about after they announce the results of the election and the electoral college? Donna has to come back and tell us how she feels about the election.
Okay. Well, we'll hear about that. But I just want to give big shouts go out to You Choose Radio for definitely carrying us each and every week. I know they have to sign us off exactly at 10. So big shouts to you, the victorious 89.1 FM. Want to send big shouts go out to you as well, to all of our sponsors. Want to say thank you for continuing to sponsor. If it's your first time joining us, we want to say welcome. Thank you for joining us. Be sure to join me, Lady D, Saturday, 12 to 4 o'clock with nothing but the best in music, entertainment, interviews. We got reggae, we have R&B, we have soca, we have some Afro beats, we have all of the latest and the greatest right here. It's a big people environment. So if you like big people music, then definitely tune in on a Saturday, 12 to 4 p.m right here on DA Powerhouse Radio. Share the information, share the link, tell a friend and a family member that we are here each and every Thursdays. And trust and believe there is no topic that is off limit right here on Reason on Thursday, because it's not what you say, it's how you say it. All righty. So if you have a reason and topic, send it to DA Powerhouse Radio at gmail.com. If you're interested in all sorts of educational item books, educational books, check out blacktrueberry.com and just type in what you need. We'll definitely get it to you. Mama Acid, we get it on over to you. All righty. All righty. All right. So we love you all. Queen, you want to say Riverdelchi to your listeners?
Big up, everyone. It was a pleasure. Remember, spread the word and press that thumb up button. I love you guys, and I'll see you soon.
All right, Mama Acid.
Bless up. Thank you for joining us. Make sure that you keep joining us and that you share us with a friend, a family member, your blog. Make sure that you like us and you subscribe because we need those numbers.
Yeah.
Peace.
All right, the respecter.
I'm gonna leave you all with this. The men who are saying that they're not gonna vote for Kamala, the ones who are angry at Kamala, they misunderstood her. When she said she's gonna make sure we get ahead, they were thinking about the wrong get ahead.
Leave it to the respected, right? Oh,
Respect
Dada,
yourself.
you want to say a Riverdelchi to our listeners over here?
Thanks for
Hello?
joining us.
You want to say a Riverdelchi? I
Yeah.
want to leave out. Go
Yes.
ahead.
Good night, everyone. You know what I usually say. Tune in next week, same time, same place. Be there or be square.
All
And
right.
respect. I want to say I love your dub plate.
All
Thank you.
right.
Alrighty.
Juliet says, good night. Good night to you. I'm gonna leave out with this because you know what? It's this was sent to me by Admiral, and I want to say massive shouts to you. And it's true. He says this is still valid today and is even more valid for today. Check it out.
We stand in one of the most momentous periods of human history. And in these days of emotional tension, when the problems of the world are gigantic in extent and chaotic in detail, all men of goodwill must make the right decisions. And on Tuesday, 1 week from today, the people of this nation must decide whether they want America to remain true to the great words of the founding fathers We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We must decide whether those words will be firmly etched into the structure of our nation, or whether we will allow our nation to be relegated to a second-rate power in the world with no moral voice. We must decide next Tuesday whether America will take the high road of justice and peace and compassion for the poor and underprivileged, or whether this nation will tread the low road of man's inhumanity, the man of injustice, of short-sightedness. Each of us has a moral responsibility, if we are of voting age and if we are registered, to participate in that decision. I come here to urge every person under the sound of my voice to go to the polls on the 3rd of November and vote your conviction.
The 5th.
Now, I know you're intelligent people, and I don't need to tell you who you should vote for. I don't have any fear about that. You know who to vote for. I'm just asking you to vote. Now, just if you need, very seriously, never before in the history of our nation has a candidate for the presidency taken such a negative stand on the demands of our Judeo-Christian heritage for justice and understanding, goodwill, and compassion for the poor and peace. And so all men of goodwill will go to the polls on November the 3rd. And I hope we will have a great day in our nation so that when we wake up on the 4th of November, we will know that America has made the right decision.
Amen. Yep.
Well done, lady. Well done.
Well, we know that we are going to go to the polls next Tuesday on the 5th. So on the 6th, I'm hoping we're waking up with the right and correct decision. You all have a blessed and fantabulous weekend. I'll check most of you on Saturday at 12. Say that again, the Darespecta.
Keep your machete and your sword and your knife next to your bed.
I'll check you all on out for the Lady D show. But do remember, go on out there and vote. You all have a blessed and wonderful evening.
Amen.
Queen Mama Asid, the Respecter.
Love
Donna,
you guys.
I love each and every one of you. And go exercise your right to vote if you haven't done so already. Blessings. Good night.
Good night.
Night, night.
Peace out.
Night, night.
All right, good night.
You're in tune to the Powerhouse Radio, linking the world to the Caribbean.
You can listen 24 hours a day, 7 days of the week to the best in music right here on the Powerhouse Radio.